We live. What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another live stream. And we got a special guest in here tonight. We got a special guest in here tonight. Known this dude for some years now. He was one of the. I feel like when folks talk about the Junior Basketball Association, a lot of times you hear the big names, the marquee players, LaMelo, Jello. You get the LeVar, right? And then underneath that, you hear the other big names, the Curtis Hollises, Jarrell Springers, the Allen Fosters. Just you hear all of the dudes that you always, you know what I mean, the Neon Wegs, the big names, right? But if you talk to people close to the situation, you know that there's a handful of folks who was really hustling, really moving behind the scenes, and really making sure things happen. And my man here tonight is one of those dudes who was a critical, essential part of the whole Junior Basketball Association and getting that rolling. Some social with the big baller brand and all that stuff. So I really want to talk to him about his journey for that. But the other reason why I got my man here is he really has evolved himself into a like a social media guru from that situation. And I think that there's a few guys who have benefited tremendously from the Junior Basketball Association, even though it wasn't the perfect and the best thing for everybody. And my man here has done that and was able to turn that situation into something positive. So I want to get that story from him as well. But then also, a lot of people on this channel um, are aspiring athletes, aspiring parents of athletes, right? You've heard this story from LeVar. You've seen how he marketed himself. You've seen what he did. And I think that they have changed the culture of basketball. You see they got the NILs in college now, all of these different things. And I believe my man here has some game that he could probably sprinkle on you all, you know what I mean, from the social media landscape of how to kind of take advantage of that, right? I know a lot of dudes on this channel who have kids who they already got Instagrams for their basketball and promoting them and all of that stuff. And my man here know everything there is to know about social media. If he don't know it, then you got to ask Zuckerberg. You got to ask what's his name, Jack from Twitter. If he don't know it, them the only people who know it, type of thing. I got my man here, Josh Ordonez. What's up, Josh?
Yo, what up? Love the intro.
For sure, man. And you got the big baller brand merch on,
I had to. I had to.
official like a referee with a whistle.
Yes, sir.
Can you do this for me? So I gave you the intro, but could you like fill in the gaps for me and just kind of introduce yourself to the people and catch them up
Yeah.
that I might even miss?
Yeah, no, I mean AB did a fantastic job, but like just picking up where he left off, the JBA really did kind of launch my social media marketing career. Uh Prior to the JBA, I was doing social media marketing with my marketing professor over at my school, university, right? And I was like helping him with his social media, and then I started working with running JBA social media. Um, and that was like a massive leap, right? Like working with my marketing professor, like, not even getting paid, to, working with like Lonzo, Mellow Ball, all that stuff. You still here?
Yeah, yeah, I am. I just gave you the solo screen
Okay.
for the culture.
Got it. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, I went from working with my marketing professor to, helping the JBA with their social media, being exposed to, big platform or whatever. And yeah, I got to learn a lot, and I was so much, learning that I was able to do. Like the fact that, the whole team trusts me enough to, put all the content out there, almost like no like approval prior. Like I have clients I work with now, you need to get everything approved before you put anything live. On JBA, they trusted me, throw the right stuff up there, um, you know, post some cool content, post the right information, and yeah, grow the page, right? So it was awesome after the JBA. Yeah, I continued work, doing my social media jam, and after having the JBA on my resume, it was really easy to like reach out to some bigger names. So like fast forward today, like I've ran a page with Gary V. I actually have a couple campaigns with a couple NBA teams too, outside of like the JBA and stuff. So yeah, it's really the JBA and the big baller brand, like beyond thankful for that experience, because it's really resulted to something amazing.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. And I would tell you this, man. I remember. I don't remember which game it was, but there was a couple games. or let me say this, two things. There's a couple games where I remember you ran the social. I was like, yo, that boy good. You know what I'm saying? That's where I work now in marketing, and I always tell people this: the JBA transformed my career as well. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
always wanted to do video and all that stuff. I got some opportunity to do that. And when I came back, I was able to transition to do like full-time video and stuff. So that
Mhm.
really, you know what I mean, sparked that for me. But I remember watching you do the social and kind of keep up with the stuff throughout the games and being like, yo, that dude is talented. And I'll say that you what I always appreciated about you is you always had a confidence in it, right? Like you were the intern. Like I'll tell, I can tell the story of how you like got on with the JBA. You know what I'm saying? Can
Sure.
you do that? Can you tell
Yeah,
that
yeah.
story?
Yeah, so, really, it was you were a massive piece in that because, so my perspective, I come home one day and my dad's on the phone with someone. He's like, he's talking to this guy. He's just like, "Hey, so are you gonna go to LeVar's mansion now?" And I was like, "Dad, like, who the hell are you on the phone with, right?" And it was you, right? And
Hmm.
and then my dad's like, "Hey, like, I reached out to the JBA and offered some free video production, green screen, all that stuff. I talked with this producer. His name was AB, right? And we're gonna go out there and we're gonna film some stuff, right?" So I was like, "Oh, that's so cool, right?" And when I went, all I was doing was just holding a camera up, filming Mello, filming, the media day, and literally, I was just posting my whole like day on my Instagram story that day. And Brianna, her position was what, director of business development, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So Brianna from the JBA comes up to me. I think it was either like when we were having lunch or something, but she was like, "Hey, like your dad told me you study marketing." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm in school for that right now." And she's like, "Yo, like I love what was on your Instagram story today. Like we need that type of behind the scenes as the JBA progresses, right?" And she was like, "You want a job?" And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah. Like that'd be sick, right? Like, hell yeah." And there wasn't anything like solidified then and there, but she was just like, "All right, just come through like the more media stuff we got going on and we'll see where we could put you." And yeah, I guess like the first game day, that's really when Alan Foster kind of like trusted me. So Brianna gave me the like a work phone just to post everything from there because they didn't want to give me the logins just yet, right?
Hmm.
So they gave me a work phone, right? And I was just bam bam running everything, helping in between the games and all that, like the halftime stuff, helping out there. And Alan, like at halftime, he comes up to me, he's like, "Hey yo, come here." He's like, "What are you doing this summer?" And I'm like, hoping to be with you guys, right? This was the first game in the Ontario. And he was like, all right, you got a social media internship job." And then he calls what was her name? The admin chick, what was her name again?
Uh,
You know what I'm talking
you,
about? Well, he calls the
I know
admin
you.
chick and
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
"Yo,
Okay.
buy all of Josh's flights and hotels for the summer. He's gonna be coming with us for the season, right?" And yeah, that was pretty much it. So it was like, I was studying marketing, right? I guess I posted some cool stuff on my Instagram, and if you want to see that stuff I posted, it's still on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, if you go to the JBA highlight, Instagram highlight, you can see my whole day that what I was posting, right? I wasn't really like I was that's just how I post, when I'm doing cool stuff, I like documenting it. And yeah, I guess it was cool enough to catch Brianna's eye and, overall like gain Alan's trust like after the first game. And yeah.
No, that's dope. And that's kind of how I remember. I think it was funny because like I feel like you're the type of guy who had such a confidence to be like, man, I've seen y'all stuff before and it was corny, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, yeah.
and then to like take it to the next level
Yeah.
and do it with such confidence in that situation. And I think it's funny because yeah, your dad hit me up on like Instagram or something and was asking about doing
Yeah, yeah.
some of the video production stuff. And they really had put me in a crazy situation. So I had talked to Brianna and she's like, we gonna do a media day. We got 4 stops. We want them to do this. And she called me off. I'm like, wait a minute, I got one camera. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. And she's like, could you put it together? And so a few different folks have been like reaching out to me because they knew I was kind of involved with some of that
Right.
stuff. And so your dad hit me and was like, yo, we got our production stuff. And so I was like going through everybody who had reached out, and then he was like, for sure, we'll do it. You know what I mean? So I always respected that you came in on like a on like one of those like to seize the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like I got one shot. I'm in here one day, and you managed to put yourself in position to like extend that opportunity. And I even remember like the next day we was at the hotel, and I felt like everybody kept being like, "Man, Josh keep calling us about coming over here." You was like trying to like tell me when to get up here. You know what I'm saying?
They told me, they were just like, "Yo, come through," and I'm all right. Let me know. Like,
yeah. And so that persistence, man. So it's dope, and it was kind of funny too watching you work through there because everybody in that situation, I felt like it was a lot of first time folks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my first time doing commentary like on that scale. It was a lot of those people who had like the skill set to do things, but like had gotten their first opportunity. And then like, and even with the basketball players, right? It's their first time being pro. You know what I mean? It's a lot of firsts. And then so I always, in watching your journey post that, man, I appreciate seeing you move and then and kind of and continuing it and then getting to where you at today. But so let's talk about this because this is important as well. So obviously for the JBA, it was not all peaches and cream for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Could you talk about some of the highs, but also hit some of them lows?
Sure. So some of the highs, really, I think what we just touched on, it was like it kind of just launched everything else. You know, like I literally after the JBA, I was pretty much running accounts like full time, like even in college. So like I was literally like be in class, right? And I'm running Gary V's wine page full time, right? Like, and I'm not even paying attention to class. I'm like literally just working, getting my bag up while sitting in class just because I had to be there. Like people were even telling me like, bro, just drop out already. And like, luckily I got to finish it and all that. So that was a high, was just the opportunity, the networking, the connections, and like I guess like more practical day to day on the highs was like, you know, Alan Foster was straight up like, yo, any food, any Uber, anything you spend on this event or on this like travel, like just get your receipts, take photos. It's all you. We got it. We're covering all of it, right? So I remember like one of the first days, bro. I don't even remember if he gave me a budget or not on food, but I got like the nicest Thai food with like the largest Thai tea, and I was like, man, this is it was good food, but it's even better when it's free, right? So I think just like the hotels they covered, the flights, you know, the food, the everything. It was just it felt like you're really valuable, right? You felt like you're part of the team. That was cool day to day. The lows, I guess, I mean, it's all public info with Alan Foster. I think that whole situation with between them and the family kind of was a similar like towards that time, but really luckily I didn't get too bad on that front because the whole issue were like people not getting paid, right? Some of the players, I actually like basically like the last minute, the last season, the last hour of the JBA, I got paid, right? But it wasn't like oh, here's your paycheck. All right, that's it. It was like, yo, where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck? Like weeks, right? Like I spent everything on my credit card because you guys told me you were gonna reimburse everything, and I haven't got anything reimbursed, and I haven't got paid, nothing, right? And so like everyone was kind of just like, oh, you got to talk to Alan Foster to that, right? I wouldn't ever go to LeVar and tell him that. Like I kind of knew like that he's not the right person to talk to. Maybe it would have been, but literally, I don't know about everyone else's situation, but if I was the like last second, like literally me, Melo, and LeVar, the whole LA Ballers were in the locker room as Melo was like shaking up the champagne after they just won. And as that's happening, I'm not sure if there's footage anywhere. That would be hilarious if we could find footage of it. But as that's happening, me and Alan Foster are in a corner, and Alan Foster's writing me a check for how much he owed me, right?
Yeah.
Literally, there's probably champagne on that check, right? Rips it to me, gives it to me. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, right? And then we shake hands. He's like, all right, brother. And that was pretty much it, right? So like it almost was like a whole journey that I like never got paid for, right? And I also would have been negative in the bag because everything I paid for myself, thinking I would be reimbursed. But overall, like net, I did get paid, luckily. But the stress of like not being paid and like people potentially not putting up their promises. Like if I didn't catch Allen in the locker room at that time, I might have not been paid, right? Like, and who knows if we would have reached out. Like, I mean, fast forward today, the dude's like pumping cryptocurrencies on his YouTube channel. Who knows what he's up to, right? So like overall though, like I feel like a lot of what Alan Foster did kind of reflected on the brand in a way. But I think you got to really be mindful on like separating Allen and the Ball family. At least from my perspective, actually like that, I would love to talk to you, like even maybe off camera, to see what your perspective is. I'm not sure how open you are about the situation too. How was what about yours with Peaches and tell me the highs and lows.
It was I'll say I feel like I was in a weird position, right? So I assume they cover your daily expenses because did you get paid also as an intern or no, right? You just was.
Yeah. Yes.
So the whole thing. All right. So for me, I didn't get none of my expenses covered. Like I just got a certain amount a month, and like I had to. I mean, obviously, like room and board and flights and all of that stuff, but like food and if I caught an Uber, nobody was paying for that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do that. But it wasn't like I had kind of set up things outside of that for me personally, where the whole thing wasn't really about the money for me. It was more about like seizing this opportunity, and if I could flip it into what I like wanted it to do. And like I said, it worked out for me on the other end. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I think like outside of that, I feel like I got paid on time. The only time I didn't get paid is the last time, like, so that last game, like everybody, I should have gotten paid before that was over, right? And then I didn't. It was like, I got you. And then we did the JBA USA tour, and I was still waiting on some money. And like they're like, okay, we about to go USA. We gonna book your flight to Denmark. And I'm like, I'm not getting on no plane until you give me the money that you're supposed to give me for that. So like a day, 2 days before we're supposed to fly to Denmark, it was like, all right. And then I got a deposit in my account, and then they booked my flight, and then I got off. So that was that. But there was just, for me, outside of that, I appreciated the whole entire experiences. I think the only things that kind of rubbed me and I felt kind of twisted about it was when they started cutting players, right? So I didn't know. So obviously I was doing YouTube at the time, so I'm hyping it on my YouTube channel. Then I got to go to some tryouts, so I got to meet people moms. I got to meet these different kids, and there were kids who made the team. There were kids who got like put on as reserves, and everybody came out to LA. And I remember walking through the hotel, there's one little dude, he's sitting here like this, sad. I'm like, what's going on, man? Why you sad? Like, I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? We in California. We about to play in 2 days. You know what I mean? What's going on? He didn't want to talk. And then I'm like walking through there, and somebody's like, well, they just cut a bunch of players. And I play back in my head walking through the hotel, and I'm like, oh, this is why all of these dudes is sick to their stomach, moping around the hotel. You know what I mean? And I just wasn't prepared for that, right? But then also fast forward, and I hear people start talking about like the level of play and the players not being good enough. You know what I mean? And then so, and talking with the coaches and stuff, they felt like they were cutting players who wasn't like good enough at the time. And then it's like one of them things where the fans also was like, dang, the talent level ain't here. And then I'm seeing who they bringing in. And so while I thought it was going to be like one of them reality shows, making the band, you made the band, you good, until like next season, I was surprised when they actually started like cutting people and sending folks home, and people was like in tears and all that stuff. So that was kind of the low moments for me.
So what about okay, so I forgot his name, but he was I believe, a power forward or center on Seattle, and they switched him to the LA Ballers. What was his name?
Yeah, Melvin Davis.
Yeah, so that dude is a beast, right? But
Yes.
why did they do that? Was it just to ensure that LA Ballers won? Like,
No, well, so like I said, they started switching players and cutting players and bringing in new people. And if you remember, like how it went, LA was undefeated until they played New York, and New York got crushed. And then like a game after that, they brought Jello in, a bunch of new guys, and then but every team in the league had switched players up until that point, except for LA and then Atlanta, because Atlanta was killing people, LA was killing people. So everybody else had switched. And then actually Seattle had cut him. And then they brought in another guy. So Seattle didn't want him anymore because they wanted to go with I'm forgetting everybody's name right now. And it's my dude too. Yeah. He was like a big, but he could shoot the three. He could dribble the ball. He ended up going JBA USA too. It's gonna hit me in a second. But
they cut Melvin Davis.
They cut Melvin Davis.
Wasn't he?
And so he was good, but he just didn't like fit into what they were doing. They went small. So what happened is Seattle realized that league was full of guards. So the best players was the Curtis Hollises, the ISO Rails. Brandon Willis came in. They had the boy Kamara who was dunking on everybody, and Nolan Irby. So they said we got to get smaller. Melvin Davis is cool, but he just clogging it up. We need to be faster. And so they cut him. And then LA was like, they had the big boy. He was 7 foot.
Oh yeah. He had like curly hair, right? Like dreads, kind of.
You talking about George Floyd, not George Floyd, Greg Floyd.
Yes.
This is this Greg Floyd.
Yeah.
You talking about Greg Floyd. This was Thimbo. Big 7 foot dude. He was from New York, but they put him on the LA team, and then there it is. Sam Gossi here. He said it right here. Oh, Demba Thimbo. So they got Demba Thimbo. He was on that team. They didn't like him, so they cut him, and then they was like, give us Melvin Davis. So that's how that happened.
Okay, so I thought LA Ballers was like overpowered when they brought Melvin Davis, but I mean, did he get minutes, Melvin Davis,
for Seattle
for LA Ballers
or LA? Yeah, for sure. All he did was stand at the rim and fit in perfect. All he did was stand at the rim and block shots.
Interesting. And then, I don't see why Seattle cut him, but I always that move I felt like that was unfair because I think the LA Ballers were just like unstoppable at that point. They kind of already were, but with Melvin Davis, I was like, what the heck? Like that addition just made it like fantastic.
Yeah, the only thing that happened in the league that really gave LA an advantage that no other team did or could do was the playoffs came. And so the way the seeding was set up, LA should have played Dallas in like the second round of the playoffs, but they did the seeding where they should have played Dallas or Houston, and Dallas was on fire at that time. They had I should have looked at a roster before I even started talking. I'm like, I forgot everybody's name. They had Weck. They had the two boys from Nebraska. My man Sam Gossi in here. He know all of the players by name. But they had a stick. Basically, they had there's some footage on, like, it ended up on the Ball in the Family show where they was just talking cash trash. We finna kill y'all. We finna dog y'all out. You know what I'm saying? And because they were supposed to play head up, somebody did some adjusting to the bracket, and I believe LA ended up playing Philadelphia, then LA ended up playing New York again, and then on the other side, it was like the really good teams had to go head to head. You know what I'm saying? Seattle, Houston, Dallas, all of those teams like kind of knocked themselves out, and then they ended up playing in the thing. So that was the only thing that they did really. That was kind of like Khalil Walker, all of them boys.
So LeVar and Allen, they're really good at like telling this whole story with their family, right? Like, you know, the whole I'm gonna wear a hat that said "I told you so," right? That's been like in
Hmm.
a narrative for years. So you think what the narrative for the JBA was to have the LA Ballers win? Like,
I don't I don't think that.
wait a minute. Do you think the refs were like fixed?
Here's what I don't think so. Here's what I'm saying. Now there are conspiracy theories out there like that. I don't think that is. I think that there was some pressure during that game. Like my man, who was it? My man Brandon Willis was so hot after the game, is because LeVar, the owner of the league, his son is on this team, is on the sideline actively rooting for the LA Ballers to win. You know what I'm saying? And like any team, like if you was hooping and the ref is out there and your dad is watching and you don't get a call, he gonna be like, damn, ref, you cheating. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh wait, dude, wait, bro. I think I know what game you're talking about because I was sitting at like the one of the tables, and I swear, bro, like the head ref went up to one of the refs and said, "Yo, stop calling fouls on the LA Ballers," like straight up.
uh, see that I don't know. I didn't hear that one. But
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. But that's what I'm saying is that
Well,
it's a
because
different scenario when the owner of the league is standing there cussing you out as a referee. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, so I think
But I
after
don't
that
know.
happened, he went to the refs and said, "Stop calling fouls on the LA Ballers," because they were actually calling like a lot of fouls on the LA Ballers, and it was like slowing down the whole game.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember hearing that, and I remember thinking to myself, like, did he just say that? Like, am I tripping? Like, did that just really happen? Like, is this fixed? Like, this whole thing fixed?
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure on like that whole situation, but if my memory serves me right, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I remember after the game was over, I was talking to some of the players, and they were just pissed off simply because they like we trying to play a game, and the owner of the league is cussing the referees out
Yeah,
to get calls the other way. So it's like even if it wasn't set up that way, it's just a bad optics. We feel like we don't got a chance anymore. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like
And
their
it
jobs
like
are at risk. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
their boss is
So
basically like, yo, yeah,
like what you doing? Like you finna get fired. You trying to get paid today? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of vibe.
yeah.
So nah. So but that it was an experience, man. It was an experience. The whole thing, even after that night, being like you said, being in the locker room and like them passing out the trophies, shaking you know what I mean, the water bottles and spraying that shit everywhere, the
It was water.
cars and all
Was
of
it
that stuff.
champagne?
Yeah. No, I had this water bottle.
Oh shoot. Okay, never mind. It was water then.
This water. I think I
I
have.
just
I'm
remember
trying to think. Do
something
I got?
bubbly. I remember something bubbly they were shaking in there.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, that the boy Lamelo was just going stupid with the water in there,
Okay,
like
got it.
actively trying to get as many people wet as possible
They got
in
the
that locker
big
room.
ass cameras right
Yeah,
next to
yeah, and
him
he's
too.
like is spraying them everybody with water. So and they were hella pissed off at him like that, but it was a good time. It was a good time, man.
Yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
enjoy.
Net good time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. I would say this too, and because you didn't, they did not end up having you like you end up leaving the tour earlier than expected, correct?
Yeah. So it was like I did the first half, and then like Alan's like, yeah, like we got you in the second half, and then like they didn't, like they just didn't get my flights, right? And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah,
And then like Brianna's like, oh no, like we got you remote, like just work remote, and we will still pay you remote. And then Alan's like, what am I gonna pay you remote for? Like, I'm not gonna pay you remote, right? So like that little block,
yeah,
I didn't get the any pay,
the
but I was
money.
just helping out as much as I can. And then like after, I forgot. I think it was Brianna, but she was like, "Yo, like we're gonna want you to come with us internationally, right?" And I remember I even like because I was also taking college like summer classes at this time, and I had to tell one of my professors, I was like, "Yo, I might take like a gap year like in school because I'm gonna go do the JBA like international, right?" But didn't end up happening either.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like with the international thing, at the end of the tour, they were kind of everybody was kind of promised to go international, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, the DJ, Brianna, and such and such. And then, like right before it happened, I think they realized like how much money that would cost to send all of these people international. And then they realized that a lot of the stuff that you would need that we needed domestically, you didn't need because all of the arenas already had it. You know what I mean? I think like a social media person would have been super clutch, but they ended up having like the one guy video, Kurt and David
Mm-hmm.
go,
Yeah, yeah.
and they just took pictures and video and did all of that stuff over there.
Sure,
But
sure.
like having a behind the scenes social media vibe would have been excellent. But
Yeah.
I
No,
think
I
that
mean,
that's why.
at that point, like not going international with them wasn't really like
Yeah,
I didn't feel like I was missing out on much because of how much they had like put me through at that point, you know.
yeah. Nah, same thing. I
It would have
wasn't
been fun
gonna
though.
go
I would have
to
been down.
it was a great time. It was a great time, but up until like I said, a day or two before they had like finally sent that money, I was like, I ain't messing with it. But
Wait, you didn't
it
go
was
international?
I did,
Oh,
but
okay,
I
okay.
wasn't going to go. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
was
right,
kind of
right.
like out on. I was like, yo, I'm not finna do that. But they ended up paying me, so then I was like, all right, let's do it. And
There you
it
go.
ended up being a great time. That ended up being like that is one of the like we went to like 18 or 16 or some different countries in like a month and a half, you know what I'm saying, in
Damn.
Europe. So we were in like Russia, we in Moscow, we in St. Petersburg, you know what I'm saying, we in Copenhagen, London, you know what I mean. So
So what was more
there
fun,
is
the regular season or international?
I was for me probably international because my I didn't have to do as much international, right? Literally internationally, I was just commentating the games. So
Mm-hmm.
like I was doing some videoing or whatever, but primarily it was for like my YouTube channel, and I was doing like a little international vlog that like I probably did like 5 episodes, and I still got like a ton of it on the computer that I ain't even like edited or put out yet.
Right.
And then even domestically, I shot a bunch of stuff domestically that I never like did anything with that I need to eventually like put something together with.
Right,
And
right.
but so literally that was just all day. We would go to a place, they would have practice and all of this stuff, and then I would just go hang out until like before the game. You know what I'm saying? So
So were the issues kind of like fixed by the time they got to international, or did they like
no,
escalate?
no, they I wouldn't say they escalated, but they they persisted. I'll say that's the word.
Okay.
Like the
Right, right.
same thing, just like
Yeah.
trying to get paid. They had like labor disputes internationally as well. You know what I'm saying? Where I remember one time, and this was the thing that I think that I get it. Like for most of those dudes, like and everybody, like you want to get paid for your work. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But I think that one of the things that I realized doing it was the experience was invaluable. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So
Yeah, yeah.
like, there was one moment where like all of the dudes on the team, because they were supposed to get stipends, they supposed to get like per diem extra 20, 30, $40 a day, something like that, plus their money. And that was not coming as fluid as it was supposed to or whatever.
Mhm.
And so everybody was just like upset. And then they talking about we ain't play, whoop, 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 all of this stuff. And I remember we're on the bus and I had to like get a bunch of the dudes and I'm like, yo, y'all came here to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be upset about the money, but the most valuable thing that you're getting from this is your opportunity to go play against pro teams
Yeah.
and like dog them out. If you get on the court with a sour attitude and lose because of it, it's gonna hurt you more than like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
$200 that you didn't get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
and like I don't know about everyone else, but like I feel like me, the college, I was like in college still, right? And like the players, I'm sure they're not like, a ton of bills that they have to like pay, like mortgages and stuff. I don't think they're at that level yet. But I think for me personally, what it was is like, all right, if you tell me one thing and your actions
exactly.
speak differently, that's where kind of like it burns a little bit, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I would hate for people to not flourish on the court because in the back of the head is like, am I at the right place and stuff. Not sure. So what happened to Kazi Brown? Because I thought he was really, really good. I thought he was really good at basketball. Did he go international?
That's not his name. You talking about damn, I'm about to say Kawami, but that's not his name either. You
What do you
talking
mean?
about
Kazi Brown.
No, not
From the
Kazi.
Chicago.
I know you're talking about. That's not his name. It's
What?
Brown. Damn. Somebody in here. What's my boy Brown from Chicago? Man, boy, I'm bad out here.
He was like the number 2, like something.
Yeah, I know you're talking about, but that is Kizo Brown. Kizo. There it is. Yeah.
Kizo. Is it
Kizo Brown?
There you go.
Yeah. That's the name. Yeah.
Coming in clutch.
Sam,
Did he go international?
No, he didn't.
He got like in a fight or something or what?
Nah. He left the tour a bit early, man. It's really on some like to just be as honest as possible without putting his business out there and all of that stuff. He just like been through a lot in life, and mentally he just was not prepared to continue playing in the league or to make that international tour. Like it just would have been too much of a liability for everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why he ended up leaving. But he is a hooper, and I want to say I've seen a few. So there's been a few different players who've continued to like play post the JBA, right? And then we can kind of transition into this because I want to get your thoughts I want to get your thoughts and maybe some advice that you might want to give like dudes who are in these situations. So
100%.
So like Kizo, he kind of transitioned. He went and played for some like minor league teams in Chicago. I want to say that I heard somewhere that he was playing in some league in China at some point. So he bounced around a lot. Jamichael Morgan, who was with the Seattle Ballers, went to go play in Europe somewhere. It was actually a lot of these dudes who got to play in Europe, and like most people, COVID happened and like stunted a lot of these dudes' careers. You know what I'm saying? Like most of them had to take them their 2 years off because of COVID, and that just flood the market. You know what I mean? When your only experience is the big baller league, you know what I'm saying? And that happened 2 years ago. So a lot of them got hurt. But let's say Dion Lau continued to play. Are you hip on Dion Lau at all? You follow him on social media?
The name, he was on Chicago too, right?
Yeah.
So I just remember that. I don't think I have him on Instagram or anything. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he is like since the league ended, he is like was a social media guru for a little bit himself. You know what I'm saying? He done had a merch store, a brand. He got logo. He's been doing like a little bit of everything. But he played for like 3 or 4 different teams in that little bit of time, like I believe in like Mexico domestically for the TBL. He played in 2 different countries in Europe. What's his name? Curtis Hollis. You heard about Curtis Hollis? He just signed a deal. He's playing Santa Cruz Warriors in the G League this year.
Oh, he's in the G League?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Let's go.
Yeah. So So right now it's 3 guys who are out either in the NBA, outside the NBA right now from the JBA: Melo, Jello, and Curtis Hollis. Neon Weg played for the national team in where my dog from? Sudan. So he traveled with them a ton. So he been kind of hooping on a global stage and hooping. I don't know, man. It's just a lot. Jarrell Springer and Brandon Willis played over in Jordan and like the country. You know what I mean? So I'll say there's probably about 20 to 30 guys who played somewhere pro after the JBA. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, Jarrell Springer, he was a beast too.
Yeah. To me, I think like, and I don't know, I could understand if you didn't count Jello or Melo, but I think if you got 60 guys, 70 guys, and 3 of them end up being NBA players, that's a, you know what I mean? That's a damn good ratio. You know what I mean? You could
Sure.
pull gyms of 60 dudes and over and over again, and you're not gonna come away with 3 NBA players.
Right, right.
My man, look at my man Gassi on it. He say ISO playing in the Dominican Republic right now.
ISO.
Yeah, hoopers. But I guess do you? So one of the things that I think is cool for a lot of these guys is that while they were in the JBA, they managed to build some social capital, like a little
Yeah,
following. That
yeah.
a lot of them hit that coveted like 10,000 swipe up mark on Instagram. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do you follow any of them and like their socials or how they're moving now at all?
Calvin, what's his last name? Houston, I believe.
Calvin Williams,
Something like that.
like
Yeah.
the little point guard from Houston. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's just at the top of my head. I remember one of the centers, but no. To be honest, like if the question is like everyone in the JBA who's like doing social media good right now, like nothing. They haven't gotten on my radar, or maybe I just didn't
Yeah.
connect with them. I got like a lot of
Mhm.
their Instagrams and stuff, but like no one's like building a brand, I guess,
Yeah.
like the same way that, the Ball family has done. The Ball family is probably
Yeah.
like unmatched, right? Like on brand building. But
Mhm.
no, what who would you say is doing the best outside of the Ball family?
Um, I would say
Social media wise, yeah.
social media wise, Curtis Hollis was doing some cool stuff because he's played in a bunch of like Premier League since then, right? So he played in the Drew League like 2 or 3
Mm,
times, and his game has just like created these moments where he's had
right.
highlights kind of take off
Yeah.
and go viral that way. And the year before last, like right before COVID happened, he was playing in Germany and left, and his agency, let me give them a shout out, man, because they always show love. I can't remember their name right now. Let me see. He signed to Holman Sports Management Group, and they had, while he was training for the draft, they had like a film crew, like a little makeshift film crew, come out and like film behind the draft workouts, and they did a bunch of cool stuff for him like that. And then COVID happened and kind of like shut
Sure.
his whole thing down, and he was kind of hoping to even like make it to the bubble, and then so he finally got this shot around and making it. But I guess my question for you is, with somebody who would have been a part of that and probably gained a bit of a following,
Hmm.
like what would advice would you give to them to like kind of stoke the flames of that a bit more, you know what I mean, or
Right.
grow that, or turn it into a brand? Is it too like, has it been too long, you think, to still be like, I was played in the JBA, or you know what I mean? Like
Well,
what would
I
you
think
say?
that like that train probably left of like, oh, Big Baller Brand JBA. As a matter of fact, it's probably looked down upon now, unfortunately. Like I talked with some people over at like Venice Ball, that league,
Yeah,
right? And I brought
yeah,
up
yeah.
JBA and they were just clowning on them, right? But I think it's also because like what LeVar did was it was such a trailblazing move that like it's easy to hate on that, right? It's easy to just hate on whatever he's doing and like just think he's crazy. But to be honest, what I would suggest for anyone like that's trying to like grow their social media, right now, something has happened within the social media landscape that it's very monumental in the sense of, so TikTok, right? TikTok happened, and now Instagram jacked it. It's called Instagram Reels. YouTube, right? Jacked it. It's called YouTube Shorts. And I think even further, they're switching. They're going to be switching the platforms to like you're not even going to see your feed anymore. It's going to be like the For You page. So you use TikTok.
Yeah.
So TikTok is so good because the For You page just shows you all the stuff you love, right? All the stuff you engage with, and it like, I swear, like it knows you more than you know yourself, right? So I think Instagram is going to transition to a point where it's probably going to be full screen video, just like TikTok, and then your following will be on a separate page, because that was the difference between TikTok and Instagram. Instagram showed you what you followed. TikTok showed you what it thinks you like, right? And TikTok just
Mm,
blew up, right? It just blew up past YouTube in viewership, right? Like YouTube's been around for like decades, right? And TikTok been like relevant for like 2 years, and it already like surpassing like viewership and users, right? So my advice right now is if you want to reverse engineer what's going on the platforms, you got to see what's popping on these platforms, which right now the answer is vertical full screen video. So basically TikToks, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, right? But these are kind of top of the funnel ones. So these will get people in the door, right? But to keep them there and to keep them loyal, typically you have to have some sort of long form content to like have in between that, or like your Instagram feed, photos, you know, all that stuff. So what I would recommend to you is, or to anyone, TikTok's the game right now. If you want to go from 0 to 100K the fastest, it's gonna be on TikTok, whether you like it or not, right? So you go on TikTok, and I recommend you scroll on it for at least 1 week. Okay, don't post anything, don't jump the gun, just watch for 1 week, start liking stuff that you like, start commenting on stuff that you like, sending it to homies that you like, the videos that you like, right? And then I recommend this tool called Talkboard, TOKboard.com, right? And what it is, it's a website that shows you the top trending songs on TikTok of the week, and it updates every single week, right? So there's some audios on there that are kind of just like evergreen, that they'll forever be popular, right? But this really is where culture starts. It really is on TikTok. I'm in this game like literally every single day of my life, right? So TikTok, it starts there, and if you go to the Instagram Reels, those similar audios and trends are going to be there too, right? So like, where did they come from? They came from TikTok first, and then they go to every other platform, right? That like culture literally like starts on TikTok and then goes everywhere else. So look, you go on this website called Talkboard, TOKboard.com, and you see all the trending songs. Okay, whether you're a basketball, a pro athlete, a musician, whether you have a side business you're trying to monetize, right? Listen to each audio and go to when you hear an audio you like that's in the like top 10 or whatever, that means that there's so many videos being used on that specific audio that is trending, right? There's videos being made every day, every hour with these songs. So you now have a potential. You could make a video, and if it pops, your video is going to be the top in the video search. So when you go to that audio on TikTok, your video will be up there, right? Which will you basically just ride the wave of a trend, right? And so you listen to a song, you say you like the song, you go look at the TikTok audio and look what everyone else is posting, right? From there, that'll give you content inspiration on what to post. And it's not going to just be like, all right, I'm going to follow this trend just like everyone else, but you could insert X, whatever you do, you musician, basketball player, like even if it's like a pro athlete, right? If you're going to post your highlight, post it with a trending song. It's as simple as that. Post your highlight, right? Sync it so that like when you dunk, the bass drops, right? Because that's just kind of like how we engage with stuff like that. If it syncs with the music, like we're kind of just wired that way that it resonates with humans, really. So let's say you're a pro athlete. Go on Talkboard, listen to all the audios. Okay, look at all the other videos that are being made under these audios. If it's as simple as just post your highlight with the trending audio and have the audio be low or whatever, have it be max volume, doesn't matter. That will get you in the right place. If you do that once a week, a year from now, you'll be in a great place, right? If you do that once a day, 6 to 9 months from now, you can be, in a whole different stratosphere, right? So yeah, but that's what gets people in the door. And then in between that is where you put your long form YouTube videos, right? Where you actually, what you want to talk about, the content you really want to make, right? The photos on Instagram that go with it. But yeah, so I think if you really focus on the short form vertical video content, that's going to be like your quickest way to success in social media following.
They say you need to drop your Cash App for this valuable information.
Nah, it's free, brother, free.
Free game. You want to know what's so funny, bro? Is many moons ago, right? I think before TikTok and all of these vertical videos, I was like working with these dudes. We were trying to like start a marketing thing, and and I was telling them, they were like, what do you think is next? Like, what is the next trend? And I was like, vertical video. I was like,
You said that.
I said this like years ago, and
What made you say
and I
that?
was like, just because I feel like for me, it was more of a functional thing, right? So when you watch horizontal video on your phone, you got to turn it sideways. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
most people, like your phone is meant to be like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So like if you can start making video that like people can just really enjoy and watch without having to do all this extra stuff, like I could see that just being like you know what I mean?
Smart, bro.
Yeah. But
Yeah, 100%.
and then yeah, they were on some foolish stuff, and then we ended up not like continuing.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think, and this is like something that I noticed too with the TikTok blowing up. And I hate to say it on here because folks be, but I kind of was gonna do a video about something like this anyway. But that's what I've been doing here on this YouTube now. That's been beneficial to me is like riding the vertical, the shorts trend, right?
You're posting shorts?
Is yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
shorts, I try to get into the TikTok too, and like I'm trying to. I work, like I said, I do video like for a organization in town here, and but I do more like the like long form, or like not long form, but like 3 to 4 minute stories. You know what I mean? We go to an
Mhm.
organization, I interview some people, put the video together. But I've been trying to work with our social media girl to like figure out a way to tell different stories via TikTok without it being like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, super cliche or like off point
Right.
or whatnot. So
Yeah, I
but
mean that's where that website helps. You don't have to ride every wave if it doesn't fit your brand, if it doesn't fit your product or service, it doesn't matter, right? But like each business or person now has a way to like implement their own personal brand, their own kind of style into these audios, right? Into these trends. Like even bro, you could even have it play with like 1% volume, right? Just have it play in the background, but you're still getting
mm,
that reach of the audio, right? But for it to really
mhm,
pop, it's most likely going to have to be something that like plays with the audio. But
yeah,
that's really cool that you picked up on that. I mean, like the saying's like a photo is worth 1,000 words, but what about a video? You know, that's like a million words right
yeah.
there. You know, so
And you know what I think is interesting, and that I didn't even think about, and as you talk about the sounds, is like for the longest time, social media has been about hashtags.
mm,
And like that's how people like wrote the trend, like
mhm.
the hashtag for you page, hashtag shorts, hashtag LaMelo Ball, whatever. And so what I hear you saying is that even deeper than like hashtag, like it's the song now. You know what I mean? Like people find their TikToks based on the song as
Yeah,
opposed to like the hashtag.
yeah. Like you know the Lil Nas X story.
Give it to me if you know.
So basically, Old Town Road, right, was a song he made, but he literally the way he marketed it is he kept making memes on TikTok with the song, and it caught onto the algorithm, and people started making more memes on his songs, right? The got the horses in the back, all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
That's really how it's Lil Nas X started. He was a musician, he made music, and he made clips. He clipped them all up on TikTok, right? And that's the other thing too. It if you don't want to like ride another traction, you could hit gold too if you do an original audio. But the chances of you hitting gold on you being the original audio, you being the first video ever made with an audio and a trend becoming from it, that's it's possible, but it's tough, man. It's tough. But it does happen, you know. Like I got clients that like I post a video, I make an original audio, and I get notifications. You know, at blank is making a video, just made a video with your audio, right? And
Hmm.
that's also another great tactic too. It's like if you're gonna, your options are one, ride a wave of a current audio and trend, or two, make an original audio but be intentional. Be like, all right, this snippet of the audio will be where the trend's at, right? Because it doesn't have to be the whole audio. It could just be a snippet that becomes a trend.
Hmm.
So, yeah, those are the two best methods right now.
Nah, I dig that. So let's say if you were, like I said, so I have a lot of It's so funny because I've been making this content about LeVar and the Big Baller brand for a while, right? And I think that what I have gotten the most that is kind of more impactful, most impactful for me and kind of kept me going is that I have like dads who hit me up and be like, I was like, I thought LeVar was doing too much. And then the way you said that, like, made me realize, like, I might not be doing enough, and like inspired them to start riding the brand or building social medias like around
Nice.
their kids and
Nice.
like and trying to build up, you know what I mean? So if they are popular by the time they hit high school, they might
Yeah.
have had some notoriety on like socials and stuff like that.
Right.
So I guess so you think like even in that situation, the kind of way to do it is that like that's the secret sauce at this moment.
What I just mentioned with the whole trends
Yeah,
and
yeah,
short form video. Yeah. It's
yeah.
kind of it's a whole formula. It's short form vertical video, right? Riding the waves of current trending audios that have a ton of eyeballs behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that tactic right there is kind of like the best for in the current like landscape. Like it could change, you know.
Landscape.
Um,
Yeah.
but like something else I would recommend too is like or like kind of just some like mental advice, which is like you're gonna start and you're probably not gonna like grow right off the bat. But here's the thing with TikTok, that's where you can grow right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like you can post a video and it gets 100K views tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. No, that's dope. Do you work with like brand deals much
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your social
yeah.
stuff?
Hmm.
Could you talk a little bit about that or like
Sure.
let's say if you're an athlete or an influencer and you're
Mhm.
trying to like secure that type of
Yeah.
bag?
Yeah, I mean, that's another great thing too. Like posting stuff is not going to just result to views and like AdSense and all that, but there's brands out there that they need to spend their marketing budget, and if they're smart, they know that social media related marketing is the best return on investment ever, right? So, yeah, one thing I do like with clients is I just look up, you know, Los Angeles, hashtag Los Angeles, or just like going on locations, like depending if like we want to find like a LA based influencer. Yeah, we go on there. We see who's posting, we see who has like good engagement, and yeah, we pay them to do XYZ, right? Um, like a good example would be like I paid this influencer once, like to post about like to post a TikTok, a YouTube, a Instagram about like a product, right? But like if they weren't posting, they wouldn't we wouldn't have ever found them, right? We paid them and we liked the results and yeah. And what's even crazy right now is like in the whole advertising world, right now the biggest type of ads are ads that don't look like ads. So let me explain. So our world we call it user generated ads, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
perfect example is let's say you send a Pepsi to a chick and she drinks a Pepsi and she talks about the Pepsi on her TikTok, right? That video of her just being her talking about a product is actually like the best type of ad right now, right? Because what's the alternative? It's a like water with like a Photoshop background that says like the best water ever. But here's the thing, we know it's an ad. We click away because we know it's an ad. So if you make it look like it's just another chick you follow, another your homie that you follow talking about something, you might stay longer, increases the retention of that video and increases your ad spend. So
Mm-hmm.
I think influencers and creators are in a place right now where like I think the advertisers are at the mercy of the creators, right? The creators
Yeah.
really have so much potential more today than ever before. Um and yeah, the brand deals like I got friends. She has like probably 4,000 followers on Instagram, right? She just did like a brand deal with like a I'm not gonna say the product, but like a product like in Target, Walgreens, Kmart, all over the place, right? Um and I like that comment. And yeah, like brands want to make videos with creators that don't look like ads, right? So what does that
Mm-hmm.
mean? This is all you need now. This is it, right? And this, just a selfie, right? Filming yourself. That's all you need now. This whole thing I just mentioned with the whole user generated ads that don't look like ads, this is relatively new, but the brands that know what's up are already like in it, right? But more brands are gonna catch up onto it. Yeah.
Yeah. What so to me, like what I do is when I'm like analyzing the social stuff, I like look for like the cycle in it, right? So to me, the way I look at it is many moons ago, YouTube was great because, and Facebook is great because I can pay to put my ad in front of your video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people got smart because we got too many ads now. So now I got an ad blocker. I pay for premium so I don't get the ads. And so now what I'm seeing is how brands like still get to me is like you said, they get these user generated ads where I'm watching a video about filmmaking and then they like, all of the clips that you just saw were from story blocks, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of weave the ad into it, right?
Yeah.
And so now I feel like the thing is if they don't do a great job of that, then what happens, and YouTube even and shows it by of like when people click off your video or when they skip ahead or whatnot. So I feel like now we get into a place where as brands get better or realize that we just need to pay the creator to put the ad in the video as opposed to before it, or like, what do you think is the next level of, damn, so now they done caught us and now they don't even watch the insert ad, you know what I mean? But how do you think
I think right now this is kind of probably where most ads are going to be for a while, and like here's another like next level, I guess. So have you ever gotten an ad from Kevin Hart?
Yes.
You have. What was the ad?
Well, I get ads from him all of the time about what's his he do the like the workout gear, Fabletics or whatever.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's cool that you know. So basically, I got an ad from Fabletics, right? But it showed up in my feed as Kevin Hart's post, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably like the one of the first big ones to be doing this. So and Instagram just added the feature as well across the board. So at least with my accounts, I have I'm not sure if they're testing it, but basically, let's say I post a photo with my Big Baller Brand hoodie, right? I could tag Big Baller Brand and it shows up under their tagged photos. But I could also tag them as a collaborator, like a brand collaborator, right? So what happens if Big Baller Brand accepts my tag is my post now goes under Big Baller Brand's feed too, right? So brands are doing this. So they're basically they're posting an ad, but they're making it a collaborator with the creator or vice versa. So now that post shows up on the brand side and the influencer side, but it's one post, right?
Yeah.
So that like I think Instagram usually they're behind on everything, but this they're pretty quick. But yeah, so it's basically you could tag a brand, you could tag a creator, and it shows up on both feeds, right? You don't have to do two posts now. You do it once, and it shows up like it'll show up like a bubble like this, like it'll be like the brands, and then the creator like will be next to it, right? So I think across the board, influencer marketing videos that just looks like you're just being normal, right? Not an ad, like it's not like we call it a right hook, right? A sale, like, hey guys, buy this. Nah, it's like, yo, good morning, guys. I just drank this thing right here. It's bomb. Like that's it, you know. And it doesn't look like an ad, so more people are watching it. Pretty much. Yeah. What's next? I don't know. I'd have to do some Nordstrom stuff for that. But as of now, I said let's focus on that. Let's, you know, if you're a creator, now's the best time to be a creator, man. Like, I think there's been a lot of growing pains in like YouTube, right? The adpocalypse a few years ago, if you're a YouTuber then, like you got hit hard. But now, bro, like they got this is the best time to be a creator, and the best time even more for brands to be spending money on creators.
Now I was gonna say I seen that recently, the co-branded post or whatever.
Right.
I think the best version that I've seen of it is like where ESPN, you know, Jalen Rose, right? He's got a show, him and it's Jalen and Jacoby. And I saw a post and it was like Jacoby and Jalen, you know what I mean? And and it had, and I was like, oh, that's great. But then I
Yeah.
seen like bad iterations of it where there's like NBA, there's an Instagram account, NBA on ESPN, right?
Mhm.
And then they'll do a co-branded post with ESPN. So it's look like NBA and ESPN. You know what I mean? It's like you
Interesting.
already did the co-branding with the one account. You don't gotta like read, you know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah, no, and this
so
this you could basically, like, let's say ESPN and NBA, they have like a campaign they want to work on. They could just post it on one of the accounts and then it'll go on both, right? So it
yeah,
won't be like too much of the same post. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like the Fabletics example, right? You see Kevin Hart, and then you see the shorts. Even if you see the shorts first, you see Kevin Hart. This whole thing is like, what can we do to get people to click on ads, right? And make them think it's not an ad, right? So when you see Kevin Hart
Hmm.
posting shorts, boom, it's Kevin Hart, right? So it doesn't matter what the product is, right?
Yeah. Nah, you're right. That Fabletics thing almost got me a couple times. I didn't try to buy some Fabletics
I actually did try
shorts.
it. I did try. It didn't
I,
come
I,
in. They didn't come in.
See, I don't like that you gotta, I just can't buy them. They like got the 2 for $20 deal. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, bet I could do 2 for $20. And then you
Yeah.
gotta have a membership and you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
can't buy them. And I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah. So mine was, I made the order, I made the membership, and then I called right after to cancel my membership. And they were like, "Oh, well, if you cancel right now, then we're gonna cancel your order too." And I'm like, "Bro, like, what the heck? Like, just give me my 2 for
Yeah.
$20 shorts, bro."
Yeah. Nah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm trying to think, what do I think is next? What am I seeing the future of as being? I really don't know at this point. I think that it is the greater integration, like you said, of user generated ads and being
Exactly.
able to just do that so smooth. Because I think
Exactly.
that some creators I follow are getting so good at it where like I've watched some dudes where it'll be like one of those War Legends video games and like they'll be doing one thing and then it's completely cut away and then show some iPhone footage and then I'm like, all right, whatever.
Mhm.
But I seen some dude, I'll follow this channel. It's called boy, I can't even think tonight. It's like he does history oversimplified. You ever heard of this? It's a
What is
cool
it?
channel.
Instagram page?
No, it's a YouTube channel,
Okay.
oversimplified.
Might have.
And
Yeah, might have.
he does like recaps on like these historical events or whatever. But one of his major sponsors is like NordVPN and then like Honey, the
Yeah.
little, and so he does a great job of he'll be halfway through the ad before you realize you just got sucked into an ad. You know what I mean? He'll be
Yeah.
like like Barack Obama, he was folks were looking at his data, and if he would have had
There
NordVPN,
you
he
go.
would have been, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And the video been about
Yeah.
Barack Obama, and then it's like, oh damn, this is an
Yeah.
ad. And
And
then
it makes
so
sense. It makes sense for both parties. Like, one, what could the creator do to keep the viewers on board, and what could the
mhm,
brand do to keep the viewers from paying attention to the whole brand, right? So it's literally, you got to find what works for the influencers. I say find what works for the influencers audience first, right? Think about the audience first, and then think about the brand, right? So from like me, when I broker brand deals to influencers, I basically like, okay, the brand needs XYZ hit, and if you hit XYZ, have fun with it, run with it, right? Have as much
mhm,
fun with it. Use whatever audio you whatever you want, whatever you think will perform best for your page. Do that as long as you hit XYZ for the brand, right? Just like the overall stuff that the brand needs. That's pretty much it. And once you uh, perform well for your audience, right, for the creator's audience, that's a win for the brand, right? Because the brand just
yeah.
got, a load of views from the original post of the creator. So yeah.
Hmm. So, all right, I got one last thing, and then I don't want to take too much of your time this evening. Are you hip on what's happening right now in college? So, one of the like, if you ask people within in the community and in my audience, they will say that what's happening right now in basketball culture with the G League, you know what I mean, taking players fresh out of high school, this thing that's happening, name, image, likeness in college. If you hip on this, right? Where now if you're in college and you're an athlete, you can make money off your name, image, and
Yeah.
likeness or whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of people give credit to that, to like the JBA, the Big
I do
Baller Brand,
too.
for shifting the culture.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that, but then also like if you're an athlete who like has the advantage of like being on a big stage like UCLA or
Yeah.
one of these Division 1 teams, and you looking to get these like partnership deals,
Yeah.
like what would you think that they should be doing to like set themselves up for success in that area?
Yeah. So one, I do think the JBA like really helped with that happening. And two, I think that's just fantastic that's happening because like I felt like, the NCAA or whatever was kind of like, just sucking, all the opportunities out of the athletes, and the athletes kind of just like, all right, you get to play for UCLA and that's all you get, right? And you get the platform and that's all you need. But now, dude, it's so new that, bro, like if you knew what I knew and you were a D1 athlete, I would hire a videographer literally to follow you your whole class. You go to
Mm,
UCLA, hire the video team or the video, majors or whatever to film you and vlog you the whole time, right? The issue with it though is because it's so brand new, you're probably going to be the only guy filming yourself on your team, right? Because it's new. But that doesn't mean that if you do that, it's not going to result to something, financially awesome at the end of your season or whatever. But yeah, I forgot the specific athlete, but he basically was doing YouTube while he was a D1 athlete, and the NCAA, I believe, told him, "Look, oh, we hear you're making money from YouTube. You either need to stop YouTube or you need to leave the team," right? And he went to YouTube and left the team. I forgot the specific.
destroying,
Who was it?
destroying,
Was it him?
destroying. Yeah, Donald Delahaye, that's his name.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, if they're gonna be as smart as that guy, now you could have your cake and eat it too. So yeah, bro, like I would love to watch behind the scenes, like similar to JaVale McGee doing the bubble vlogs. Bro, I
Hmm.
would love to watch UCLA behind the scenes, USC, behind the scenes. Yeah. The issue with it though
Yeah.
is like you got to be savvy because not only do you have to focus on being a basketball player and potentially making to the league, but you gotta, yeah, you might as well build your following, make content along the way. Um,
Hmm.
it probably, yeah, that's why I opt into like try to hire someone, because if you're gonna be a full-time student, full-time, D1 basketball player, how are you gonna find time for all that? I mean, it's possible, but yeah, I think very excited for who's gonna be the first kind of guy to make it to the league with like 500K subs before on YouTube before they're even in the league,
Hmm.
right? It's
Yeah.
possible, and now the doors are wide open. Like go and get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So I do got one last question. This is the controversial question for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna let you out of here. This is for the culture. So my man LaMelo Ball, right, was in the JBA. He's wearing his own shoes, big baller brand sneakers, t-shirts, jersey, hats, all the whole vibe. They got the whole lineup. Things go south. My man signs with Puma, $100 million. They got the new sneakers coming out and all of this stuff. Do you think that that's the right decision for him, or do you think that he probably should have stuck it out with the brand and then maybe the payday long term is bigger? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. No. I mean, if like Big Baller Brand never like the kids never separated themselves from the brand and it was forever Big Baller Brand, like the same Big Baller Brand we knew. I guess like before Alan Foster. I hate to say it, but like, right? I would say, yeah, stick with Big Baller Brand, and Melo probably would have been smart enough to do that. But because of, Zoe, he doesn't even have the tattoo anymore, right?
I think he covered it up, but I feel
So
like he got another one since then. You know what I'm saying?
a
Like,
Big Baller Brand tattoo?
I wouldn't be surprised because I
Okay.
just seen Zoe a couple days ago wearing the Big Baller Brand shoes, like walking into the arena. You know what I mean? So
So
he's
here's another
back
thing
now.
too. So you know how like they left, right? The boys, the kids left.
Hmm.
If Melo, like that could have been a good move. All right, we're all back, and we have a new shoe with Big Baller Brand. That could have been a
Hmm.
good move, right?
Yeah.
But him going with Puma, I mean, that wasn't a wrong move, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a wrong move, but I think if they would have played their cards right and like been like, "Yo, Big Baller Brand is back," and we're back by having Melo doing his own shoe with his own new shoe, that'd have been sick. But I mean, yeah, I don't blame him for going with Puma. It would have had to be a
Yeah.
whole marketing campaign, PR. I mean, you know what, bro? Like LeVar's banned on like ESPN, right? So like that marketing aspect would have been off the table.
Hmm.
So maybe Puma was the right move, you know. Like I love
Yeah.
Big Baller Brand, like I'm gonna rock them till the day I die. But um, I think Puma was the right move.
Yeah.
But like
That's what I was saying.
let's not doubt
Go ahead.
LeVar. You know, like who knows what LeVar is gonna do with the brand from now on? You know,
Yeah.
he's still LeVar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that bag. The word on the street is he got paid like 100 million, plus he got access to the Puma jet. You know what I mean? So that's hard to turn down when
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, 18, 19 years old, $100 million
yeah,
guaranteed in the bank.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I wish they would have figured out a way to smooth some of the tensions and kind of keep things going, because I think it
Yeah,
would have been even bigger at this point.
yeah. And also like big.
Especially,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the things that I have seen from Puma Hoops, like I watch and I got some videos where I talk about like the branding of my dog LaMelo, and a lot of it seems to be like really social media heavy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Social
yeah,
media focus. And I'm just like, y'all could have did that yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You could have hired Josh to like set you up a social campaign and
right,
and
right.
and and kind of had it lit. But
Yeah, I mean,
that's my only critique.
it probably was high risk, high reward to go back with Big Baller Brand. But like I'm sure Melo Zoe especially has like some business people behind him. Um, they like Big Baller Brand could be like, you know, $1 billion brand, but the issue with it is it's like it's contingent on like the boys, right? The ball
Yeah,
boys. So like Big Baller Brand might not ever be like a brand that you could like sell, right? And exit, because if the boys exit, the brand's kind of like gone, right? But
yeah, yeah.
hey, I think the Puma deal was probably the right deal, but high risk, high reward would have been a Big Baller Brand. I would love to see what would have happened. You know, that would be cool if we could
Yeah.
see.
That would have been amazing for the culture, man. But all right,
Would
so
have
give
been.
me this, man. I'll give you some closing statements, man. If you need to talk to the people, shout out your socials and all of that jazz.
Sure.
And if you got some final advice or something, anything
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got, you know what I mean. It's your
Yeah.
moment to shine.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So I mean, AB, thank you so much for having me on the show. Final rapping thoughts. Sounds like you have some creators here, some influencers, aspiring influencers here. Best time ever is now. Uh, if you think YouTube is saturated, it's not even started really. So many advertising dollars. Just look at TV. Every ad you see, $1 million are behind those things. And the brands that know what's up are transitioning their money to social media related things. So if you start today, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you're gonna be glad you did. And if you don't stop, you're gonna be in a great place. There's so many advertising dollars that are going outside of social media. Social media is the minority of where advertising dollars are going. So if you're an influencer, aspiring influencer, do it, get at it. Um, Now's the best time. Follow me on Instagram. Hit me up if you want to talk at Josh Ordonez on screen there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, bad. Yeah, definitely tap in with Josh, man. He got
Yeah,
all the info. And even if you don't send him a message, just follow him on there. You'll pick up so much game just from watching him move around social media and
appreciate it.
kind of, you know what I mean. His journey is, you can learn from that just from watching. But no, I appreciate you coming through, my guy.
Thanks for having me, AB. Good catching up, brother.
Yeah. For sure, man. It's been real, and like you said, this is the time. The time is now to get on this social media. I'm slow to the party. I've been on the YouTube for a minute, and I'm just starting to see like, wait a minute. I think do you got a podcast or you got a brand that's called Social Media Money? What is it?
Oh yeah. So that's actually my YouTube series, Social Media Money.
Mhm.
I pretty much the whole spiel I just gave you of like now's the time. I'm just making content to like reassure people that interview people who are in full-time content creation, full-time creator economy, really just to, you know, drop some knowledge and drop some inspiration to people aspiring to enter social media. So yeah, that is my YouTube channel, and it's also my marketing agency name, Social Media Money. Yeah.
All right, bet. So that's the name of your social channel, or is it social media? Your YouTube channel is Social Media Money.
So no. So my YouTube channel is just my name, Josh Ordonez, but then
Okay,
my YouTube
gotcha.
series is called Social Media
Social
Money.
Media Money. All right,
Yeah.
all right. So I'll try to find you on there, and I'll like tag you in the comments or whatever.
Okay.
Or this would always have people do after this is up. Then drop a comment in like in the comment section, and then I'll pin it to the top. You know what I mean? So if
Okay.
you want to
Yeah.
shout your socials and all of that stuff, then I'll
Okay.
pin it right there for folks to check it out.
Perfect.
Cool. But no, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Thank you,
Keep
AB.
grinding, hustling out here. You know what I'm saying? And his YouTube pinned already. AB, dang, I pinned it to the chat here in the
Oh, good
live stream,
stuff.
but I'll pin it in the comment section if you post down there as well. But I appreciate you coming through, man. It's been
Thanks for
real.
having me, bro.
Yeah, I had a lot of game here, man. And we'll link up, man, and stay connected for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Tell your dad I said what's up, man.
He's
was
probably
here.
watching. He's probably watching.
He was. I know he was in here earlier. He commented a while back.
That's what's up. There you go.
Yep.
All right, then, AB. Appreciate it, dude.
All right. Yep. Cool.
All right, catch you.
Peace. All right. All right, y'all. It's your main man, Avi the Hero. We're finna get up out of here. Shout out one more time to my man Josh Ordonez for coming through, telling you social media guru. Go follow my man on all his social platforms. Check the comments. Check the link here in the chat. Go check out his YouTube channel. Another but great information, and get you some of this social media money. Is real. You feel me? Peace.